Hey y'all, it's Nate. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. We just finished watching season 9 of Selling Sunset. If you missed my commentary on it, it's linked below. And since I did a season 8 recap before season 9 of Selling Sunset came out, I figured that I would do a recap before season 4 of Selling the OC comes out as well. Now, because this show only has 3 seasons, I'm basically going to be doing a recap of what's happened over the 3 seasons because this cast hasn't been around for that long. Maybe you missed it. I only started watching Selling the OC last year when season 3 came out, and so I don't really know the cast that well. So I need a refresher, and I figured that you might need one too because there's so many different relationship dynamics that go on, and you kind of do really need the whole story. And since it's only 3 seasons instead of 9, I can actually do that. Also, disclaimer, as you can tell, I watch a lot of media from movies to TV shows, and in particular when it comes to Selling Sunset, the LA office, the OC office, the Tampa season that we had, the New York season that we had, I might start to get some details confused. One of you let me know that I got something confused during my commentary of season 9 of Selling Sunset. I said, yeah, that's likely to happen because, you know, the owners are the same, the show's dynamics are pretty much the same. So yep, if you catch a mistake, just let me know in the comments. Have no problem with it. So we're first gonna get started with Alex Hall and Tyler. So after 2 seasons of gaslighting us and making us think that their relationship was strictly platonic, Alex Hall and Tyler start dating. Now it is important to note that in season 1, Tyler was in fact married, but by season 2, he was separated, estranged, or divorced, or getting divorced. The jury is still out on that because Brandi felt like it was a separation, not a divorce, and everybody else was saying it's a separation, but the divorce is happening so they can start dating other people. There was some confusion there. What ended up happening is that him and Alex Hall start to go public with their affection. You know, they're kissing in public. The OC is very small, and as I have said many times, even with the LA office, the real estate industry is tight-knit and small, so if you're doing something, everybody knows. They start going public, kissing in public, everybody finds out, and Brandi jumps in and she says, look, y'all are making the brokerage look bad because the ink on this man's divorce, if that is what he's getting, is not even dry yet. You're making the brokerage looks like we shenan and shenan again. And Alex Hall is like, respectfully, girl, I don't give a damn what the streets is saying. I love this man. I've always had an attraction to him. He loves me. He's always had an attraction to me. And so we gonna try this thing.
It's not about what you're doing. It's about the way things look. That was my whole argument with Polly. That was the whole argument.
A flying fuck.
Exactly. We know that.
But season 3 did end with Alex Hall saying, look, I'm looking for an alpha man. I want to be able to turn my brain off when I'm with somebody. I want him to book the flight, tell me when to get on it, and I'm gone. And she ended up dating a man who was like that. So the situation with her and Tyler was actually kind of iffy because she doesn't feel like he was really putting in the initiative. She kind of thought he was, I don't know, like playing the game, didn't want to fully commit. And what I said is, I think that he was using her as a rebound. I genuinely do think that he had feelings for her, and I think it's always been there even when he was married. That's a whole other conversation. But I do think he genuinely wanted to be with her. They wanted to be with each other. But I do think he was rebounding because how could he not be? He had just gotten out of a marriage, however long it was. And to Brandi's point, the divorce hadn't even finished yet. So of course she's a rebound. Like, you know what I mean? She very much did look like the other woman. And that was the point that Brandi was trying to make. Is like, girl, it's looking real scandalous up in here. Their situationship was kind of on pause at the end of season 3. When I was watching Selling the OC, I was like, man, it feels like this office is low-key more messy than the LA office. And let me tell you, that is a hard accomplishment, but I stand by it. Because there was one point during season 3, I believe, or was it season 2? I don't know, where Polly, someone else from the office, was sitting on Tyler's lap. All of them are saying, look, this is just the relationship we have. Alex Hall touches on his face, rubs on his shoulder, and Polly sits on his lap. This is what we do. And that lap sitting situation happened while he was still married. So apparently they said that that's just how they get down at the office. Everybody is lovey-dovey like that. And apparently even Polly and Tyler shared a kiss. I think that was after the divorce situation, but apparently they kissed. Apparently there was video of it. We never saw this video. They locked that up in the vault, the actual vault that they have in the office, and never to be seen again. Tyler was also teetering with the idea of leaving the O group because he felt like there was just too much drama. Baby, you were the drama. You were kissing and hugging all over all the girls in the office. All of that said, the person who was actually in the most mess in season 3 was actually Sean. And it was surprising because Sean had been quiet as a church mouse for 2 seasons. And then in season 3, he completely turned up the volume, turned up the bass, and was like, I'm going to be the drama. In one of the situations, the group was at a beach hangout and they started playing that game that for some reason people on reality TVs like to play, where they say, oh, let's pretend to be somebody else. Let's impersonate someone and you guys guess who it is. So Sean goes first in that game and he says, Dad?
Dad? Is that good? Like, that is not sounds like you. Wait, I don't get it.
Wow.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Shots are fired.
In that impersonation, he was impersonating Tyler. And why did he do that? Because Tyler is a Nepo baby, and Gio also is a Nepo baby, so that's a conversation that comes up often. But Tyler is a Nepo baby. His family owns an also very well-known, very successful brokerage. And so the reason that he ended up at the O Group is because he didn't want to work at his family's brokerage, because he didn't want to basically be seen as getting handouts from his dad. He didn't want to be a Nepo baby. He wanted to go make a name for himself on his own, so he left the family brokerage to work at the O Group. However, he was still getting handouts from the fact that his family had a brokerage. I think his dad ended up giving him a listing that was super high value or pretty good value, and everybody in the office was like, how the hell did you pull off getting a listing with that value? And he was like, well, it's a friend of a friend. And they were like, oh, your daddy gave it to you. Such as nepotism.
I have my biggest listing ever at the Montage for $39,700,000.
How did you get the listing in the Montage?
My dad originally sold it to the owner. Yeah, just long-time connection.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Wish I had a daddy like that.
So Sean continues on with this sentiment, like in other small ways throughout the season. And then I think he tries to get Tyler to come on a deal with him, or something happened. And then Tyler was like, respectfully, you don't do real estate. I only want to do business with people who do real estate.
I come from a marketing background, okay?
You've been in marketing for 8 years.
Let me talk.
I've been in real estate for 12 years. And I don't want to partner with somebody that's not in real estate.
And it was shade, but it was true. Sean had, in this entire time, up to season 3, Sean had never actually closed a deal on a house. He was, in fact, doing marketing. He was trying to break into being a realtor. In season 3, Sean also accused Ashtyn and his wife of trying to have a threesome with him. And not only that, he said that they drugged him using weed brownies in order to make him more susceptible to say yes to the threesome.
No. You told me when we were friends, you gave me all this little stuff that you and your wife are into. I don't care if you're doing these foursomes, flipping, doing all this kind of stuff with your friends.
Kidding me?
No,
Hey,
are
are
you
you
for
fucking-
real? No, because this is the truth. You're the one freaking telling me nice legs, all this kind of stuff.
Show me. That's not nice legs.
Come here, right here. Them legs. You're the one commenting on all my photos, so you look at all of this.
Because we were working out together, bro, and your legs are fucking huge. It's a compliment. That doesn't mean I want to fuck you.
Now, at the time and now, I said, I don't think Ashtyn and his wife would have a hard time getting someone to have a threesome with them, so I have a hard time believing that they had to beg Sean and drug Sean to do it. Him and his wife are very attractive. They could make it happen. And that claim is substantiated by the fact that both Gio and Tyler were like, look, if you guys wanted a threesome, y'all could have called either one of us. We would have said yeah.
I'm fucking pissed. If you are doing 3-ways and 4-ways, I wasn't fucking invited. Tyler too. Yeah.
Come on, man.
They don't have to drug nobody to get no damn threesome. I don't know why. I feel like he made that up, and I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why he said that. That was crazy to me, because looking at these two people, I don't think they'd have to work that hard to get somebody to agree. However, regardless of if people would or not, the rumor that Sean started in regards to that and making it look like, you know, they're swingers and they kind of get down in kinky ways was not good for Austin's reputation, because again, small community, tight-knit community, and he ended up losing a deal over this rumor. And that's why I say, yes, this is reality TV, but these are these people's real lives, and these words have consequences. He lost a deal because of that. I'm sure that his reputation took a bit of a hit because of it. And because of that, Sean almost got his ass kicked. Ashtyn almost kicked his ass for spreading a rumor or telling a secret or whatever it was. It doesn't matter. He was starting to impact his business and how he provides for his family. And he was like, I literally will revert back to my, I don't know where this man was from, but he acted like he used to get down like that. He's like, I'm gonna kick your ass. And so Sean, by the hair of his chinny chin chin, didn't get his ass kicked. And then Jason was like, look, Ashtyn, you can't be beating people up. You gotta have some decorum.
I made a move, and because I'm not into it, you're mad that I'm not into your perverted ways.
move on you? Are you gonna make this shit up, bro? Are you literally gonna fucking make this up? Are you gonna make this up?
Flipping the script. Because I'm calling you out on your bullshit.
Hey,
You're flipping the
if
script,
you
Austin.
don't want to get your ass kicked, you need to take a step down.
No, Austin, chill.
Austin,
You want
do not flip the script on me.
You need tension so much.
You need legitimate
Sell
help.
fucking property,
No,
dude.
you're
Actually,
trying to flip
you
the
need
script.
attention?
I don't even care if he gets his ass kicked.
And at the end of the day, for me, whether it's true or not has no impact on if I would let him sell me a house, and it also really doesn't have an impact on anything else, because why do I care what him and his wife are up to? Like, well, I'm not kink shaming. If you want to have a threesome, okay, whatever, it's your wife, whatever. I don't care. Like, why? I don't understand why it's that big of a deal to anybody else, but reputations. However, that situation does tie into something else, because during this same time, I think it was the same season, Ashtyn said that he saw Jarvis at some type of Eyes Wide Shut party.
I went to this random house party and fucking Jarvis was there. It was the strangest party I've ever been to. A bunch of like rich, fat men with like beautiful women everywhere. She got really weird when she saw me, like I wasn't supposed to be there. She left very quickly, but like when I went to go talk to her, she had just like scurried off.
So was it a swinger party? Is that what you're saying?
Felt like something weird.
Interesting. That is
Swinger
interesting.
party or like
Jarvis is a swinger.
And to that I say, well, Austin, if you saw her at the party, doesn't that mean that you were also at the party? So then I was wondering, maybe him and his wife do get down like that. Again, doesn't matter to me, but what were you doing at this party? Questions that need answers. Not for me, but for other people. And the thing for me is, Austin doesn't seem to like his wife all that much. Like she was basically begging him to let her come to work events, and he was like, well, nobody else has their significant other there, so you wouldn't have fun. And she's like, I can handle my own. He's like, no, stay home with the kids. And he also talked about how he likes to go out, he likes to party, which is fine if his wife is okay with it, but it sounded like she wanted to spend more time with him, and he was like, I'm trying to party.
When I'm with, other people, obviously there's a line you don't cross, but I like a good time. I like to have a few drinks, dance, stay out late, yeah, all of the above.
I'll be fine, you're home. Pretty good at it.
For me, he just simply didn't seem happy in the relationship, so I'm actually going to be surprised if they're still together. I'm not trying to wish any ill will, but from his words and actions, he didn't sound like he was happy in his marriage. He also let his wife know in season 3, I believe, that he didn't want to have any more kids. They had twin girls. I think he really just wanted one kid, and then she ended up with twins, and he's like, well, I can't undo that now, but I don't think he wanted any more children, and his wife clearly did. But y'all know how I feel about people settling on whether to have kids or not to have kids. I don't think it's a compromise. I think one of you, if you decide to have them or not, is going to be settling, and it's going to breed resentment, and nobody wants that in a marriage, and a marriage can't survive that. There was also a little bit of friction between them, maybe not outwardly spoken, but I believe on Austin's part, because she did come from a wealthier family and he kind of has had to grind, and so her expectation of what living life should be is just different because of how she was raised, and so I think he felt pressure in his marriage to provide that lifestyle for her, even though I don't think she was actively putting pressure on him. Now, Kayla was newish to The Office, but she was a little less green by season 3. In season 3, she gets a $28 million listing, which was obviously huge for anybody, but definitely huge for a new real estate agent. And Gio didn't like this because he felt like he should have been the one to get the $28 million listing because his tenure on her is astronomical. On top of that, like I briefly mentioned, Gio is a Nepo baby, but not just any type of Nepo baby. His mom is some type of real estate mogul. So he has history in the real estate industry, and so he feels entitled. He's an entitled asshole in the real estate industry. He's always going to try to check you, make sure you know things, make sure you're not doing better than him. And so he was like, I don't know why this new agent is getting this $28 million listing when it's something that I should be getting. And on top of that, he felt like she stole it from him. So he was actively going against her, hoping that she wouldn't make the deal, hoping that she would fail so that he can come in and swoop it in and save the day. And on one side, he's right. He is more seasoned, but give her a chance. Let her prove herself or not. That's kind of how this industry works, especially at this office, you sink or swim. However, we found out from Mary during that season that that's not really how listings work. She didn't steal it from him. When the listing is for this amount of money, the person who's selling the house actually gets to decide who gets to take on the deal. And so he's handed, all of the real estate agents and told things about them, and he gets to pick. So she didn't steal it. She was chosen by the seller. For some reason, Gio didn't believe that. I wanted her to sell this so bad, not only because Gio was being a dick, but also because he had Tyler and Austin in on it, hoping that she failed.
Bid expires, it's free game. And then Gio comes in to get it.
Gio takes it over?
Us 3. We'll be the 3 agents on it. I'm serious.
Listen, the Oppenheimer group, just a different team.
Not to mention the fact that a $28 million listing would be life-changing commission for her, and it would be a drop in the golden bucket for Nepo baby Gio. Now, I must say, and I have to say this every time I mention nepotism because I feel like there's always going to be someone who didn't see my previous videos and going to think I hate nepotism. I don't. I hope my kids are Nepo babies. But that doesn't mean that I'm rooting as hard for a Nepo baby as I'm going to root for someone who actually had to work for it, because at the end of the day, Nepo babies don't have to work that hard. Wow, I appreciate that, hey, he didn't choose to be born a Nepo baby, no more than anybody else chooses to be born not into wealth. So it's not his fault, and his parents should want to give him handouts. That's kind of what they're there for, to be helpful to you, to make sure that you can elevate in life. But I'm not rooting for him over someone who is actually hustling and working for everything. She doesn't have a real estate mogul mom. Up next is Allie, or Alexandra Harper. Now, she was brand new to the agency and to real estate in general. She, in fact, actually did not even have her license yet. So she's being hired preemptively with the hopes that she would get her license and start selling. Now, the interesting thing about Allie is that she is a former beauty queen, and really she's just trying to prove that she's more than a beauty queen. So she started doing real estate. I honestly don't even know if she's gonna be in season 4 because the girl was failing miserably, and I would never want her to come near my listing or near my house. She went off on Alex Hall at a broker's open because Alex Hall had said something about Kayla on a podcast. Kayla and her settled that, but for some reason Allie was very upset about it, and she went off on Alex Hall at the broker's open in front of all these other people. Now, I said I think she did that because she watched too much Selling Sunset, and she notices that the women are always arguing in public like they don't care who's around. And to that I said, Allie girl, you're not even known in the real estate industry, so your reputation is still being built brick by brick. You better show up on your P's and Q's every time. And she was acting very erratic at this broker's open. I mean, she was knocking on a window, all kind of stuff. I was like, girl, these people don't know you yet. Tighten up. And again, she didn't have her license yet, so you're not even a real estate agent yet. What are you doing? You shouldn't even be here. Gio ended up giving her one of his open houses because I think he was too busy to handle it, and he was like, well, this would be good for you as a test run to if you can do an open house. And what the test run proved is that she could not. This one lady in particular who was interested in knowing more about the house was asking her things about the house because I think it was kind of in an HOA and off of a dock, and so people with boats would live there, and the lady was asking her, are we allowed to fish off of the dock? Can we do this? Can we do, like, how big can our boats be? This girl didn't know not one thing about this house. One thing about this house. It was insane how little she knew about this house.
Is there a curfew for the boats?
That I don't know. I actually have not been in the second level yet.
Is there an HOA? And how much?
No
is that?
HOA.
You sure? I'm pretty sure there is an HOA. It's kind of crazy to list a $16 million house and like these are questions that buyer,
Right. Oh, for sure.
You gotta know, $16 million house.
And so it was clear for me from that moment on, oh, she don't care about real estate for real. She came here thinking she was gonna get by on her looks. And at the end of the day, these looks don't sell houses completely. You do have to know a little bit of something. You have to have some finesse. She has no finesse. She has no decorum. So, like I said, I'm not gonna be surprised if by season 4 she's not even there anymore. That's what I'm seeing happening. If she had any sense, she would leave on her own, but she just might get fired. As for my girl Brandi, she pitched the idea to Jason of the O Group having a sports division because she's well immersed in the sports industry. I believe her husband works in the sports industry in some capacity, so she knows a lot of athletes, basketball players, football players, and she's a black woman, so she can speak their lingo. She understands the culture, and so just by default, she's gonna have an easier time connecting with them. We left off season 3 with that, so I don't know if they ever went through with the sports division, but she did pitch it, and I'm really proud of her for doing that and putting herself out there. And finally, we have Rose, who is another Alex, I believe. We have Jarvis, who is definitely another Alexandria. There are so many Alexandrias. So Rose and Jarvis were previously friends, but by the end of season 3, that friendship was in the rear view, long gone. They fell out basically because Allie, the supermodel, started working at the O Group, and Jarvis was like, I'm gonna gravitate towards her. That was part of the reason. The other reason was that Jarvis and the other ladies at the O Group OC office thought that Rose was a little bit too promiscuous with her selling strategies, and they also were implying that she slept her way into some listings. Again, I don't know why the people at this particular office are obsessed with everybody's sexual doings outside of work, but y'all are too into people's business for me. If Rose did sleep her way to a few listings, what is it to you? I feel like they want me to be mad at something I simply cannot be mad at. If that's how she do her business, that's how she do her business. Okay, what you want me to do? Crucify her? You want me to stone her? What am I gonna do to her? I don't care. Since Jarvis and Rose were not buddy-buddy anymore, they decided to kind of split because previously they had been kind of getting deals together. They were door knocking, getting deals together. And I guess that's how Jarvis found out she was a little promiscuous. But anyway, they had decided to go their separate ways. Rose didn't understand why, but Jarvis had basically kind of cut her off cold. And Jarvis said, well, I'm going to start focusing more on working with buyers versus working with people who want to sell houses. And Rose said she was only doing that because she couldn't get a listing. Whether that was true or not, who knows? That's a good roundup of what happened. There was also some small talk about Jarvis and her husband being sugar daddy, sugar baby again. Why are they so obsessed with each other's sex lives and what they got going? Listen, I've said it before and I say it again. If Jarvis and her husband are in some type of mutually, what is the word? Mutually, not exclusive, mutually beneficial marriage. If her husband is aware of that and she is aware of that, why do you need to be aware of it? Like, what does it matter to you? I don't know. That's one thing. The LA office is very messy. I think we all agree that. But the OC office is messy in a different way. And the OC is even smaller. It's small, it's white, it's conservative. And so they definitely talk. You know, they have very strong Christian values over there. They can't be that strong because the way these people go on and on and on about their sexual doings, it can't be. But anyway, yeah. So they all seem to be interlaced with each other. And I already talked about how they be all over each other in the office. I don't know what's going on, but the office is bizarre and is very unique in its own way, to say the least. So that's basically my recap of all 3 seasons that we have so far of Selling the OC. Let me know what you think we're going to be expecting in season 4. Like I said, if Allie has any common sense, she's not going to be there anymore. Tyler might not be there anymore because he was hinting at it, although I can't really see him leaving the old group because I don't think he wants to be seen as getting handouts from his dad, but we're going to see how it plays out. Right now, I am also covering Squid Game The Challenge. If you have watched Squid Game the show and you're like, I don't really understand a reality show version of Squid Game, watch it. I really loved season 1. I really hope that season 2 is just as amazing as I thought season 1 is. So if you want to see me cover that, I'm covering that right now on my channel. And when Selling the OC comes out, I'm going to be dropping my videos in batches of 4 because there's only 8 episodes. So 1 through 4 will drop on the 12th of November, the day that the show comes out. And then 5 through 8 will drop on the 13th. So I'll be back to cover that. And until then, I'll see you later. Bye. It's likely that did happen because Shadow, just go the other way, guy. Okay, I'm just making sure you alive, my guy. You was laid out kind of crazy. Rabbits sometimes low-key be looking like they died when they be sleeping. His eyes were closed. They don't do that often. I was making sure you were good because Shadow was freaking out. I was freaking out. We was about to have to go to the vet, my boy. You're good. You were just taking a very deep sleep. Shadow, leave him alone. Just go the other way. Why he gotta be up just because you up? Maybe he wanted to take some time to rest this morning, but you want his spot, so you trying to move him out the way. Stop. Be nice. I know you're an old man now. You just turned 5, okay? Yeah. Well, Shadow, who is the reason that you stuck right there? Who is the reason? You. That's why you looking crazy. That's why you are the reason that you just go the other way, guy. It's okay, but strictly patolic. Then in 3s and C. I don't know what that means. History in the real estate injury. Not injury.
This is not a test.